So I think there are one or two who have not marked their attendance yet. So remember to take your attendance before class ends at 9:30. Okay. Wait another minute. Any questions so far? If not, then we do a short video on the root cause analysis. It's about a 3 minutes video while we wait for the rest to come in. Let's start the video at 7:50 in case those who have not come in yet. Are you all in? I only saw one reaction. So the rest haven't come in yet. Don't want to go back early. No? You all know how to use the react icon over here, this one. You can put like a thumbs up. You are reacting. Okay. I can't see. I only saw one or two. Yeah. Okay, I assume that most are back. Okay, let's watch the short video first. Let me know if you cannot hear the sound of the video, yeah?
So let's take a look at the problem-solving method known as the 5 whys, or also
Can you hear? Yeah.
And let's take a look first of all at how that relates to the problem-solving funnel as a frame, where we begin with a high-level problem.
This is the 5 why method. You keep on asking why. Yeah, it's like for those who have children, maybe 4 or 5 years old, they start asking you why until why you cannot tahan. Why this, why that, why, until you finally give them the answer that they are happy with, and then start asking you why.
It might be something that's vague, it's something that we don't fully understand, but it's the problem coming at us on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. What we want to do is break the problem down to understand it, get some data, get some facts, look for patterns, and from there, that means understanding the work. This is certainly a characteristic of any problem solving, which is to deeply go and observe and understand the work. From there, we can identify a point of occurrence, also sometimes called the direct cause. It can also be thought of as a problem in its own right. Now, we can do the fun part, which is to start to ask the 5 whys. We put on our investigative hats and ask why is this occurring? That will lead us to a root cause, regarding which we can attach a countermeasure. So to look at this part of the problem-solving process of the 5 whys, or causal chain, let's look at the famous example, Taiji Ono of Toyota, and the one that he used starting in the 1950s of a machine breaking down. So the problem that he saw as the manager of the machine shop, because machines would often break down, and his people would often just attach a Band-Aid. They would only stop it at the first level of cause, meaning that the problem would recur, they would come back. So he trained himself and his people then to always ask the 5 whys, sometimes 3, sometimes 8. The point being to follow the causal chain all the way down to a root cause. So in this example, he looked at a machine that had stopped working and identified with the first why that it had blown a fuse in the control box because it was overloaded. The overload caused the fuse to blow. But he didn't stop there, asked why again, and recognized that insufficient lubrication was getting to the bearing. So the bearing, therefore, was causing the overload on the machine. Not stopping there, he went to the next cause, asking why, found that the pump was not drawing lubricant, so the lubricant then would not be sent to the bearing. Still not stopping there, okay, why, again, was the pump not drawing lubricant? Because the shaft was worn, causing it to rattle and not function properly. Now, another why there led him to a root cause. was, which was that there was no strainer that allowed metal chips to enter in and damage the pump. So with the damaged shaft, that would mean the pump wasn't drawing lubricant, so that there wasn't enough lubrication going to the bearing. That overloaded the machine and blew a fuse, and that stopped the machine from working.
So you see, just from fuse blown, this guy managed to backtrack and trace the actual root cause of the fuse blown. It's not because of bearing, not because of the pump, not because of the type of lubricant. It's because there's no strainer. Because of the absence of this strainer, it caused the shaft to be like jammed or congested. So not enough lubricant was drawn in from the pump to the bearing, and because of the overloading, the fuse blown. So actually, the root cause is something else. It's not the quality of the fuse that they are using. It's also not a bearing problem. It's not a pump problem. But actually, you need to trace back to the original cause of the issue.
So he's got a 5Y causal chain going down to the root cause, and you can check that with a therefore chain going up as well. So now he knows if I apply a countermeasure here, which is to make sure there's a strainer, the problem will be solved so that it doesn't come back. So this is what can be accomplished with a fairly simple way of thinking, so that we're not just putting Band-Aids on symptoms, that we're solving problems at the root cause. Good luck in your problem solving.
Okay, so I hope you have a little bit more understanding on the 5Y. Okay. Okay, let me see where I can stop before I start the revision. Okay, I will stop somewhere here first. Let me start with the revision. So for those who are familiar with reinstatement, that means making good as in renovation. Renovate it back to bare condition. Reinstatement. For example, you rent out a unit. Bare condition. So tenant A take over the unit, they renovate. Then they, stay there for 2 years, and then they need to return back the unit to you in bare condition. That is called reinstatement. That means they have to reinstate it back to the original condition that was given to them 2 years ago, back to the landlord. That is called reinstatement. So we have a lot of renovation, reinstatement for offices, retail mall. Not so much, condominium. You won't have all this lah. But more for commercial retail properties. So reinstatement. This I don't know. I think this discussion needs to be done better physically. Let's try to do it virtually. But this one not so important. But again, it's more of managing timeline. So you are landlord. You manage a commercial building with an outdoor bistro. That means that outdoor restaurant, coffee house. So now outdoor bistro is a Starbucks. Outdoor bistro is a Starbucks, and it's expiring in 3 months' time, which is somewhere 20 Feb 2026. So now it is 24th November. So you have December, January, February. Let's say exactly around 3 months. 24th Feb.
Anthony,
not sharing screen, huh?
Anthony, no. Just want to check about this bistro tender. Normally we rent this unit vacant to tenant.
Yeah.
And the tenant have to submit this letter of offer with all their proposal.
Okay.
Then most important is the price. The rental price must able to match his
whatever you're asking.
Asking. So tender. I don't know because I'm also a property agent. We don't tender for bistro. We just ask for letter of offer, and then if the price match, they go ahead with it. Yeah, because along the line when they do renovation, you require PE to come in, PE to come in to certify, and then the submission to FSS, fire safety. All these things are required.
Okay.
So I don't know why tender.
Question.
Yeah.
Let me see how to best answer your question.
Maybe the tendering might be repair or replacement of cooler or something. Maybe
this is form of tender for renovation. So assuming that
the bistro value is going out already, so he had to reinstate back the condition that he took from us. He cannot leave behind all the camera whatsoever. Tear down and make it the same condition, the bare minimum that we give him. So
for reinstatement is quite straightforward. Sometimes there are also occasions whereby tenant run road, how long, tenant own rent, then after that disappear. Then you have to make use of the existing security deposit to renovate, to reinstate back to bare condition so that you can rent out to a new tenant. Or luckily, if there is a prospect that can take over as it is, then not so bad.
Save the deposit.
Yes.
We will conduct viewing. Normally, agent will conduct viewing. So
there are many circumstances, scenario that you can apply this so-called bistro tender for reinstatement. And reinstatement normally is done by the existing tenant. For example, now it's occupied by Starbucks. So they're supposed to do the reinstatement. But now you are the landlord. So let's assume that they will do the reinstatement. With that kind of time frame in mind, you want to renovate, revamp. You want to revamp the space. This currently Starbucks, although they renovated quite nicely, but the business not very well. That's why they decided not to renew the place. So as landlord, you want to revamp the place, to prepare for a new bistro to come in. This new incumbent already assume that you have already signed the lease. You want to prepare the ground for them to come in to renovate. That means you want to do some minor enhancement to this outdoor bistro before this new so maybe I make it clearer. Make a new tender. When should you call a new when should you call for tender to enhancement initiative. So you want to revamp the place because the current concept by Starbucks is not very good. You want to enhance the corridor. You want to put aircon because maybe currently no aircon. You want to put some glass, glass window to shield off, and then that's why you can air condition that place. So assuming now no aircon. How long in advance do you need to prepare for the tender so that the timing coincide with end of lease? So upon end of lease, Starbucks leave the place, you can immediately come in and renovate and take over the place and renovate. So the timeline is 3 months. 3 months means what? 12 weeks. 3 months. So 12 weeks. So you don't want to waste time. You want to make sure that there's no, because every day is rental loss, opportunity cost. The faster you finish the project, the faster you'll be able to lease out. Then you can have rent. So the timeline is 12 weeks. 12 weeks. So again, it's about time management. You work backward. The answer is here. The answer is here. But assuming you don't have answer, this is the conventional time required by you or by the company to do a tender for this AEI. The question is, how can you meet the timeline? That is the question of 12 weeks. So by compressing preparation, contractors, you invitation to quote all this, you need 2 weeks, tender evaluation, and then you need a paper approval. All this can be done concurrently. Certain things can be done concurrently. In fact, 12 weeks can be further compressed into maybe 10 weeks. Your tender evaluation and your approval, can you squeeze into 2 weeks instead? That means, yeah.
The evaluation can be done within a day. Tender evaluation can be done within a day. Cannot be 2 months.
Not so simple. So evaluation, yes, you can do it in a day, but you have multiple stakeholders at time. You need to make sure your procurement free. You need to make sure your contract manager free. Then your, I don't know what else, your other stakeholder. Once your tender evaluation, you do your preliminary. After that, you've got to submit to your boss to get your boss' opinion before you put up the paper for approval. It's not as easy as one day to evaluate. Of course, if you have done your research, you've done your calculation, you could do your own analysis, and then you get in the stakeholders and convince them that this is the best way to go, then yes, maybe 1-2 days can finish. But if it's complicated, then
Normally, I noticed that normally if the downline manager or whoever is approved, the upline will just follow on, just sign. They won't take more than one. Then only they'll ask a few questions. Okay, then they sign.
So provided that's why provided you have done a good job in evaluating the what you call it, the proposal or the submission. So if you miss out certain things, and when your boss asks certain question, you're unable to answer, that's where your evaluation take time. You re-evaluate, the boss don't approve. The boss asks you, hey, do you check this, do you check that? Then you restart evaluation. So over here, I have some question. This one no answer. I have some question. What do you think the property manager, the senior property manager, which is taking care of operation, will be concerned of in terms of new infrastructure? So you say now this new place that you have erected with glass panel, got aircon, very good aircon, got exhaust, got a floor trap for the new bistro. They can do cooking, they can do other thing that Starbucks last time cannot do. With these new facilities, amenities in place. So what do you think the senior property manager will be interested to ask in terms of infrastructure requirement?
I think for the senior property manager, things that they will ask is probably is that whether does the current M&E can support the new AEI, whether there's power requirement, structurally, let's say if it's HBLS, let's say if it's not aircon HBLS fan itself, right? Structurally, how to support it and so on. Let's say if it's aircon itself, whether the building aircon supply is sufficient to cool the place or not. All this must take into consideration by the consultant also. Yeah.
So BTU, whether is it sufficient to cool down, to disperse the heat load, current requirement, as in the power, electrical current requirement, whether is it 3-phase, 100 amps or 200 amps.
For example, we take Starbucks. Starbucks as maybe Starbucks is required currently is about 200 amp, 200 amp, and then with the bistro and so on, and the new tenant is coming in, is a F&B. Then with the exhaust and so on, it probably need 300 amp. So whether the circuit is sufficient to support the 300 amp requirement itself.
Yeah. So you the property manager will be interested to ask what kind of provision is in place, sufficient power, sufficient cooling, sufficient exhaust, availability of grease trap, or
whether the place is able to call, whether it's able to call below is a basement car park,
track.
below. Yeah.
So toilet.
Portable bistro.
So all this they will be interested to ask.
Another thing is opening hours itself. Let's say if the new bistro is 24 hours itself, right?
Security, yes.
Yeah, whether the new building can support the toilet cleaning after, because toilet is not 24 hours. The cleaners is not 24 hours.
Operation hours.
Yeah.
So these are the answer like opening hours, operation, because the operation hours will affect your security. Maybe the building is not meant for 24 hours. Maybe your security knock off at 11 p.m. Then you have a 24 hours bistro. So do you have a certain, turnstile or security in place that deter people from going into the office area? Because this is an office area. So, so all these are your concerns that your property manager may have.
And
but what about
also auxiliary aircon? Because it's that the building or aircon doesn't support 24 hours. Probably places where they have to put their condenser and so on.
So aircon, is it centralized or standalone?
But normally for bistro it's standalone.
Yeah, for auxiliary aircon. But yeah, if you have 24-hour, centralized aircon, then maybe there will be another incentive to the bistro owner to take up your place. Then they don't need to invest in standalone aircon. Okay, that is your operation requirement. What about your asset manager, the one who look at the dollar and cent? What do you think he will be interested to know? Example, just think we are not asset manager, we are property manager, but what do you think the person up there who is focusing on dollar and cent is interested to know?
The AEI cost itself that we invested.
Potential revenue.
Yeah. And then
AEI
whether
cost.
rental can cover the AEI cost.
Your ROI lah.
Yeah.
So you spend $1 million to do this, how much? How long does it take to recover this $1 million?
Whether you, as an asset manager, you also think that whether does it bring footfall to the property, and then
Your improvement to the building to the asset. Management of value. To the building. Is there anything else that the asset manager will be concerned of?
I think it's also another one is the risk factor itself that asset manager have to take into consideration.
What factor?
Risk factor.
Risk.
Yeah, because it's that with this investment cost of AEI itself, right?
Okay.
Whether the new tenant can sustain. If not, what is the risk factor? The calculated risk.
Whether the tenant will 走路 or not, charge them so high, okay, and the business is not sustainable. After that, the tenant, cannot make it. Then you have to find replacement tenant. Business risk. Fire probably over here. Fire risk, probably the property manager will ask, or the safety manager.
More enhancement is easier to find potential tenant already.
Because there is
enhancement is in place. You open up to more potential business.
Easier.
So should not be an issue. If 着落, then the next come in, he don't have to spend so much money. So he can straight away
place.
Not a really big risk.
Because you have a good place already.
Yeah, you already have all the
amenity, the facility.
The facility. So
you see, so different. The moral of the story for this is different stakeholder focus on different areas of concern. If you are writing an approval paper to your asset manager, because you are the property side, you are the operation side, so you don't need to talk about this anymore, because you will already have evaluate and determine that all these are in place, are sufficient. So then when you write your paper to your asset manager, you focus on this point, because over here you already take care of the property side. It depends on who your big boss is. So now we have a new big boss, new CEO. So of course, I mean, the higher you go, it's still dollar and cents. CEO will still look at dollar and cents. So at this point, it's all dollar and cents. They all look at your ROI, your profitability. How can you increase your revenue? How can you increase your profit? In order to drive up the share price. How do you unlock building value, etc. All talk about dollar and cents. What kind of strategy you have in place after you do this AEI? What about phase 2? That kind of question. So when you write your paper, you need to know what your big boss is thinking, so that you prepare your bullet in advance.
One thing the asset manager would ask is that whether can the next tenant take up the AEI cost.
Ask the tenant to take up but
yeah.
Yes and no. If tenant say no, then you charge higher rental. So it's still in a way it's already costed in. The reason why you want to do your AEI is because you want to get higher rental. You want to enhance the place. You want to get better rent, better revenue. You want to increase the profit margin of the place. That's the reason why you want to spend money. It's like you are selling your own house now. You want to sell your own 5-room flat, but your current 5-room flat is very original condition, quite worn out, old furnishing. So how do you improve the value of your 5-room flat before you sell out, before you market it out in the open market? So maybe you want to consider spend a little bit, maybe $5,000 to paint back the place, demolish or to remove your existing old furniture. You give a fresh coat of paint, touch up a little bit those spotty, missing toilet window glass, broken window glass, touch up. When you spend $3,000 to $5,000 to do this, hoping that you can get a better return, maybe 10,000-20,000 more on the market when you sell your property. That is asset enhancement is about. You want to spend a little bit so that you get more return. Okay, the answers are there. Okay, this one is potential. I'm supposed to do revision. Okay, I will try to go faster and then we will stop somewhere here. This is a potential MCQ. Yeah, I think it's MCQ question. So earlier we talked about inventory control, stock control. Now we talk about payment approval process. What do you need to look out for before you authorize or verify on the service or delivery order? Before you certify that, okay, you have delivered, you have done the job. Before authorizing payment, so contractor give you invoice. Before you process payment, you need to see what? What do you need to see? You need to confirm that servicing was done. For example, this is a door service contract. A door service contract by Doma. $1,000 per month. Service 10 door in your building. So you need to see what? Before you authorize the payment that they have done the servicing, you release this $1,000 to the company because they have done the servicing. So you need to see service sheet. Who can sign off the service sheet? They give you a blank service sheet and they say that, oh, I've done the service sheet. Are you convinced? Do you accept this kind of service sheet? Because it's not endorsed by any of your technicians, it's not endorsed by your managing agent, it's not endorsed by your service executive or property executive. So somebody must sign. Who sign? I think depends on the structure, the setup of your team, your FM team. If you have technician on site, maybe the technician have escorted them and verified that they have done the servicing. Technician can sign, no problem. But when the technician sign, please make sure that they put their name there. They scribble something, a snake. They'll put a bird or a tortoise, and you also accept the signature without the name. Then when auditor asks, then you have problem. Who sign off this service sheet? Invoice missing. Now they give you a service sheet, and then with a statement of account saying you owe them $5,000 for the past 5 months because invoice not processed. Somehow, your company very big, got 10 finance assistant, but you don't know where's the invoice. Doma also say, they send, but don't know send to who. What happened? Invoice not paid. After that, they stop servicing because you have not paid them. How do you chase invoice? How do you regularize, make sure contractor get paid promptly? Then you do your root cause analysis. What kind of problem? Define the problem. Contractor not paid promptly, 30 days. Credit term now become 5 months unpaid. What is the process? Find out why not paid. Why contractor never submit in time? Why contractor submit to the wrong person? The person already resigned already. Why never inform the contractor? Lack of communication. So you keep on drilling until why, and then you try to resolve the root cause of the problem to ensure that this thing doesn't happen again. So the question is, for authorization of payment, you need to verify certain things, your service sheet, your service order, and then who sign off. So this one is a simple multiple choice question. that will be coming up in your comment tag. Okay, this one is just example of okay, this service report got name, got signature. But what about this? This one also got name, got signature, but this is a replacement of door, repair of door. Repair of door, put function room, but never say repair one. This is a service order. Never say what. Then the person endorsing the service sheet didn't put name. This is like didn't put name, didn't put date. Then in the end we regularize and ask technician to make sure that they put in the date and the time and his name. Again?
Sorry. I'm looking at this works order. There's a
This
name.
one?
At the bottom is work successfully completed on 5th of September, right? 5th September, the date and signature at the bottom.
Yes.
So someone has already signed and put the name and the date. Common this is normally this kind of scribbling is quite common. Yeah. And then followed by pictures.
Yeah, this one's still okay. That time he didn't put name, so just submit. So when auditor check, we don't know who signed because just sign without name, unable to trace. Maybe the contractor signed himself, just scribble something.
The second check is the pictures of the item installed or delivered.
That will be good if possible, especially if
because one of my MA company no photo or no payment. No photo, they don't pay, they don't care. So I think it's quite okay. Yeah, I find that a lot of contractors now they take many photos really. As an evidence.
Now okay lah. I mean now digitalized not so bad lah. So imagine we also have client who are overzealous. I think it was a simple painting job, pipe replacement. After replace the pipe, you have to paint, and it's like a few $1,000 kind of work. But this is a government project, and to substantiate that $1,500 pipe replacement plus painting job, there was like 100 overs photographed, enclosed together with the invoice, and that is required by the managing agent, who is acting on behalf of the client. It's not productive. The client, the MA insisted that every length of the new pipe be photographed. That's why it came out to like 150 pictures, something like that. So sometimes I think we have to have some sense of balance. And then after that, they want hard copy because somehow it's not digitalized, so they want hard copy. So you print out 150 pictures plus one invoice of $1,500 job. It's a bit overkill. So
overkill.
Try to use it moderately. Don't go and be counterproductive.
I come across 100 over photos.
And
everything
for a small job, so not so productive.
They squeeze all the photo into very, don't know how many, 20 or 30 photos, 20 or photos in the one page. Why? How to see?
So, and then do you even go and, go and examine, go and see or not? You know work was done already, by a few photographs. You don't need 20, 30 or 100 pictures to confirm that the job was done or completed. Don't need. Invoice. So who can sign off the invoice? So again, depending on your company policy, normally the person must be of like manager and above or at least a senior executive to sign off the invoice that work was completed, verified, and then approval of the invoice normally by finance or your big boss. It depends. It really depends on your company process. Okay, this one is a bit theoretical. So it's something about negotiation. There's two types of negotiation: integrative negotiation and distributive negotiation. So this one also used to come out as a common test question. 4 marks. 4 marks structure question. So you need to understand and apply. Understand the differences and apply or cite a scenario of integrative negotiation or a distributive negotiation. This is very easy to explain. Distributive negotiation, the one highlighted here, is a win-lose type of negotiation, which is very common. I win, that means you lose. For example, you want to buy a new car. You want to buy a new car. This car dealer give you 30% off. And you know that the market price for this car is 200,000. So this car dealer give you 30% off, sell you at 140,000 because somehow unable to sell second-hand car, unable to sell, no market, no people want to buy. Everyone is selling 200,000. This guy somehow give you 30% discount to persuade you to buy the car and confirm that this car no problem, right? No engine problem, nothing lah. You confirm, you send for check already. It's a genuine deal. You buy, and you confirm that this supplier is making a loss. This car dealer is making a loss by giving you 30%. So you win. That is simply means your distributive negotiation. You win. Very easy to explain. Same thing when you negotiate for your salary. Somebody must win, somebody must lose. Let's say the HR budget is $3,000 and you insist on 3,200. The budget 3,000 only. And in negotiating with them, you want 3,200. Because you know that this position was unfilled for a very long time. You saw the advertisement has been there for 3 months and they're still advertising. During the interview, they are very enthusiastic to recruit you because you're available immediately, you have all the necessary experience, just that you're asking is $200 more than their budget. You want 3,200, they want 3,000. And you know they're very desperate. You die, you don't want to give way. You still ask and insist at 3,200 and finally they give in to you, you win. That's distributive negotiation. Somebody win, somebody lose. The more difficult to explain is this integrative negotiation. integrative negotiation. Win-win. Which is difficult to achieve. Normally achieved via compromising. And because the relationship is important, you don't want to break friendship, you don't want to sour relationship, be it with the company or be it with your friends. So you decided to compromise and see how to achieve a win-win scenario, a genuine win-win scenario with a complex issue. For example, Chinese New Year cleaner, very common. Supposed to work until 3 p.m. Supposed to work until 3. But the cleaner supervisor wanted to apply for, 1 p.m. for the cleaners to knock off because it's Chinese New Year. Some of the elderly cleaner need to go back, prepare food, need to cook. Some need to go and do some last minute shopping. So how do you, as a property manager, which is in charge of that condominium, for example, how do you establish or work out a win-win integrative negotiation with the cleaning company to allow the cleaners to go back at 1? How? Can be done, right? How to do it? After we finish this, we go through revision, then we can call it a day. How do you achieve a win-win with the company so that they can go back earlier? At the same time, they don't shortchange you as the condo manager. A few ways to do it as in a fair win-win kind of a scenario.
I think for this case itself, I think it's quite normal for the industry itself.
Yes, so quite normal. So how?
Yeah. So normally, we will ask the cleaner to make sure that all the toilets are cleaned up before they leave, and then because the next 4 days is a public holiday, and then there is a sufficient supply being replenished before they leave on the day itself.
So some kind of performance-based agreement. Make sure you complete all your work by 1 p.m. and then they can go.
Yeah, make sure all the toilet rubbish is being empty, and then the toilet paper is replenished and so on. Yeah.
But somehow you still feel shortchanged because instead of they shortchange me 2 hours So how can I claim back these 2 hours from you next time?
I don't think it's shortchanged but normally this time we will talk to the cleaning company itself. Like, let's say if there's an emergency during the Chinese New Year, they have to have a standby mobile team to come and support itself.
So you see, there's one remark here to come earlier. For example, instead of starting at 9 to 1, you come at 7 for that particular day, so that you don't shortchange me in terms of hour. You still deliver contractually. You still deliver. Just that you start earlier, you end earlier. Yes, that's one way to do it. The second way, probably you owe me 2 hours. Next time, maybe on the 3rd or 4th day of Chinese New Year, when you come back, because more rubbish, more things to do, some of them OT 2 hours more to compensate back for the Chinese New Year Eve. That's another way you can do it. Or the cleaners company can arrange some float workers who is of other race to come in to continue or to come in to compensate. Maybe during the Chinese New Year first day, even better, because Chinese New Year first day no workers, bound to be dirtier with more visitors to your condo. But the cleaning company say, okay, never mind, because you allow me to go back at 1 p.m. This amount of workers on the first day of Chinese New Year, I try to get in two or four workers to compensate the condominium in terms of man hours on the first day of Chinese New Year. Float workers. So there are many ways to achieve such win-win scenario, or pay OT, for example. Yeah. So that is your integrative negotiation. It is more difficult. It is more difficult to achieve, and relationship is usually more important because it's a long-term relation with the cleaning vendor. Okay, this one I can go through next week. This one not very important. But there's some theory here as well. Okay, but this one I can go through it pretty quickly next week. Okay, let me go through the revision. How come ask me to sign in again? You all can see right now. No problem, right, with Teams. Hello, Ken? I stopped sharing already.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Somehow it asked me to sign in again. Okay. So common test, like I say, it will be on the first few chapter that we have went through. Will consist of the introduction to property management up to next week lesson on business continuity planning. It will be 2 hours paper, yeah, more than enough. I think 20 MCQ question with 5 or 6 structure question, closed book. Yeah. So common MCQ question will be similar to what you experience in the quizzes. So you need to know, like, remember the first chapter about your predictive, also your preventive maintenance. What are the good checklists? What can you use to develop a good preventive method? So MCQ question. What is the lux level? So understand the various lux level. But you don't need to memorize. It will be like, the very common lux, like your office lighting, 500. Know by heart, because sometimes people will test you. People as in complainant, your office user, they will complain, hey, here very dim. Then you have to explain, based on SS531, the lux level is 500, and then you use a lux meter to determine and show them that the average lux is 500 and above. Then that is good enough. So sometimes they will try to challenge you, or the light is too bright, too glaring. Then how? Then you talk about your glare index. Yeah. What are the common types of audit in property management? I think that one is one of the quiz question. It will be similar, but different. That's it. Yeah. I'll just tweak a little bit on the kind of question relating to that. Then we also have insurance. There will be 2 questions, multiple choice on insurance. I'll give you a scenario-based kind of circumstances, like people fall down, claim what? Claim public liability. If worker get injured, claim what? Claim work injury compensation, something like that. Scenario-based, and then you are to choose multiple choice. We also talk about performance-based contract, traditional headcount-based contract. What are the KPI? What are the differences in terms of the 2 kind of contract? It can also be a structure question on identifying the differences between a traditional and a performance-based contract. So you have to know that traditional manpower-based contract use manpower. They don't use KPI. 20 headcount means 20 headcount. If you less 1 headcount, there will be LD, there will be omission. That kind of traditional headcount-based contract. So then what about performance-based contract? What is the advantages? What is the characteristic of a performance-based contract? You use KPI, you use technology to improve productivity. So when we talk about KPI, what are the penalty? What are the different measurements? For example, KPI of a cleaning contract, or what are the KPI for elevator contract, which we have went through, the response time, man trap response, equipment availability. So this can be multiple choice. This can also be a structured question. Then you have innovation. What kind of innovative technologies that you can use in facilities management? That can also be a structured question. What is considered innovation? Yeah. So remember our building management system or our computerized maintenance management system. This is no longer innovation. It's like everywhere have the same thing. So remember when we take airplane, all airplane has that LTD screen. It is no longer an innovation. It's expected to have. If you don't have, you are lousy. It's no longer something new. It's no longer an innovation. Yeah. So you need to identify what is innovation in the facilities management industry. So building management system is no longer considered innovative. Every new building will have some sort of BMS. Every new commercial building will have some sort of BMS. Yeah. Of course, condominium maybe don't have lah. So the question will be slightly more. It will not be so straightforward. Yeah. But I will try to make it very clear, so that there is no yes no answer. But it will be tricky. But the answer is indisputable. So So I don't want you all to challenge why this one is there's some gray area. I'll try to avoid all this gray area. For example, your lux level. 500 means 500. It will not be 490. It will not be 350. It will be 500 because it is based on SS531. We also talk about OPEX, CAPEX. What are the differences between OPEX, CAPEX? So you need to know some of the OPEX item, CAPEX item. Earlier we ran through procurement guideline policy, what is good corporate procurement guideline, force majeure contract. Why is there a need for contract? What are the terms? What are the good terms and conditions to be present in the contract? What is force majeure? So I'll give you a scenario, and then you need to determine whether is it real, whether is there a real cost to activate force majeure for, say, a delay in a shipment. So read the question properly. Then we talk about processing of payment earlier, service order, BCP. I'll talk about it next week. There will be some question on BCP. What are the bad symptoms of IAQ? Let's say you are suffering from diarrhea. Is this a symptom of bad air in the building? If you have diarrhea, yes or no? Don't know. Hello. No past year paper. Yeah.
No. Bad diarrhea doesn't form the IAQ.
So bad diarrhea is not a symptoms of bad air quality. Yeah. So you all need to know what are the symptoms of bad air quality. Earlier we also talked about pre-qualification. What are the criteria before you call a tender? Last time we also talked about predictive maintenance. So that's more or less your revision, your MCQ. So earlier we talked about integrative negotiation, distributive negotiation. So understand the differences. Most important is application. You need to know how to apply site scenario when the question calls for list 4 items, name 4 items of, for example, list, list or name. Then you just put in four words. Good enough. But of course, it will not be like this. The structure question, you will be like explain, discuss. So if you see, explain why, discuss this, then you have to write a little bit more. The more you write, the more marks we will be able to allocate for you. If we put elaborate or discuss something and you put in 1 sentence, and it's a 4 marks question, then it's very difficult for us to give you more points because your 1 sentence probably only 1 point or 1 mark. You need to elaborate, you need to discuss, elaborate, explain. That means you have to write something, write 1 paragraph for your 4 marks. Or at least you have 4 different pointers there with some elaboration on how these can be applied to a certain context. Then you can get the points. What else? So your conflict resolution, the one supposed to discuss today. We should have some time to do it next week together with BCP. BCP is a relatively short topic, and then I want to do a tutorial. And the last discussion on the remaining few questions that I have not discussed today here, then that will be for next week lesson. Yeah, that's about it. Anything else? There will be no calculation question. No calculation question because we have not gone through. We have not gone through it like ROI or that. The one I'll put it to the next term. But I may want to go through it just to let you have an idea how to calculate ROI next week. Yeah. I think that's about it. Anything else that you want to know?
Sorry, sir. I think I missed out some. I missed out. How many questions actually are there? I mean, the MCQ,
20 choice question.
And then is that all multiple choice?
No. Let me see. 20 times 3. Then there will be about 6 structure question about that. 6 to something. 6 to 8 or about that. 6 structure question.
Oh, that means
short structure question.
20 MCQ and 6 structural question.
Yeah,
short
around
one.
6. Around 6. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's all right.
Yes, for the common test.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think we can stop here today. Turn on your camera. Let's take a group picture. Then we can call it a day.
How long is the common test?
2 hours. 2 hours. We probably I'll give you more information next week. We probably start like 7 to 9, something like that, instead of 6:30. Yeah.
So next week we got the practice, right? Practice paper, right?
Practice paper?
Yeah.
No. Don't have.
What do that?
It will be something like what we have done just now. Maybe lesser because I already tell you all like 70-80%. So next week I would have finalized the rest of the paper, and then I just go through with you again on the rest of the 20-30%. Yeah. Okay, if there's nothing else, attendance, make sure you all have taken. That's it. Okay, I see you physically next week. Okay, thank you. Bye.